let's talk about movies. Today, I want to talk about Hokum. Hokum is a folk horror film about an aloof writer dealing with grief and guilt and goes to the Irish countryside with the aim of scattering his parents' ashes. Unfortunately, things happen and he falls down a whirlpool of supernatural psychosis. The film is written and directed by Damien McCarthy. He's also done Oddity and Caveat. It is clear that he is here to stay with a strong voice within the horror genre. It usually tends to be a bit of a hit or miss with these writer-director situations, but in this instance, it is fantastic. I love Hokum. I love everything about it from the beginning to the very end. Let's get into it. Hokum starts off by establishing character, and that is inherently its strongest element. The character focus is done beautifully, and the opening scene of the film clearly mirrors his way of thinking and sets up the clear journey that he has to take to change. Therefore, it was a well thought out opening that takes us into the scene that the main character, Ohm, is writing. Ohm is cynical, he is aloof, he is depressed, and this is obvious from the way that he interacts with other people.
Did they catch the person that shot her?
No, he's too young to be punished. Should have fucking hanged him.
We'll get into spoilers, as usual, if you haven't seen Hokum yet. I don't want to talk about the monster. The primary antagonist of this movie is an alleged witch. There is lore surrounding this entity, and the owners make it clear that the witch was locked into the honeymoon suite, therefore it is off limits to customers. Now, Ohm makes it to the suite in search of Fiona, the woman that finds him and saves him from a suicide attempt. Gets locked and must find a way out. Now, of course, initially the film makes the witch's existence very ambiguous. Slowly, though, things start to happen. Ohm is chased by her and must draw a circle around himself with chalk to keep her away, according to the crazy old man in the woods. It works. These scenes are very tense and suspenseful. I was completely drawn to the screen and glued to what was happening. This is where I want to say this, because a lot of horror movies do not get it. Less is more. The less you show the monster, the more eerie the film becomes. We only get to see the witch once in a close-up, and then another time. Like, that's all we need. The rest of it is just knowing that Ohm is practically shitting himself because something is out to get him. Watching this reminded me of the first time I saw the Blair Witch Project, which was revolutionary when it came out, right? And to me, I was 8 when I watched it. To me, that was real. And we never see the monster. It's fascinating. I like the use of lore, but I wish they expanded on things. And the one character that seemingly had the answers, the owner, just vanished from the film after the first act. The film does feel like a video game adaptation done right. It was all about kind of finding a way out, using the environment, exploration, and I was happy to see a capable and smart horror protagonist, which doesn't happen often. He's a writer, of course. He should be creative in the ways that he goes about finding his way out. Of course he should be smart, right? But then there's other movies where we get characters that should be smart, but they're just idiots. So thank you, Hokum. Thank you for this protagonist. I mean, I gotta give credit to Adam Scott. He's fantastic. Just the fact that he's doing more serious roles and that he's nailing them, I love it. And I look forward to seeing more of what he does in the future. I thought the psychological aspect of the film was perhaps the strongest part. In the end, we don't know if the witch is real, or if any of the supernatural things we saw had actually happened. We find out at the very end that someone spiked Ohm's drink, the same drink he'd been gorging on throughout the film. Now, it's very plausible that what he saw, the witch, was a manifestation of his guilt and tripped out imagination. Know that he has mental health problems, and we find out that he deals with guilt and grief from accidentally shooting his mother and killing her when he was a child. So the witch could be more like his penance than anything. Probably tell how much I love this movie, but there are a few things, one of which I've mentioned, of course, but there's other things I would like to discuss in terms of criticisms, because nothing's perfect. But look, sometimes greatness lies in imperfection. I wanted more about how witches work and why a chalk circle would stop her. Like that wasn't never quite cleared by the crazy man in the woods. What is it about witches and why do they hate chalk? What else could be used against her if she is indeed real? But I can understand why they didn't focus on that side of the story, because the story isn't really about witches and folklore. Those are just tools to get Ohm to change at the end. With that in mind, I failed to see why the movie was trying so hard to make us believe that the witch was real early on. Is the second thing. There was a scene with a security guard in front of the elevator doors. First of all, why is the guard guarding the lift doors? Secondly, why did the witch open the doors just to fuck with him? Like I didn't understand what the point of that was. It was just unclear to me, and I didn't really see any kind of point to that scene as a whole. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below. Let's start a discussion. Later.